Okay. My name is Dr. Alex Chin. I am a first-year fellow at Bristol-Myers Squibb in a 2-year program. It's in medical information and medical strategy, specific to virology. And I am a pharmacy graduate of Rutgers University. And today, the purpose of this segment, we went over a lot of functional area stuff today. The purpose of this presentation is really for you guys to learn a little bit about the mid-year process, maybe the application, the interview process, and what happens there.
And I am, can everybody hear me okay in the back? And I am Dr. Cynthia Nguyen. I am a graduate of Ohio Northern University. Is there anybody from the state of Ohio out there? Woo, go Bucks. Ooh, sorry. I got really excited about that. I'm a first-year regulatory fellow at Hoffman La Roche. And like Alex said, we're going to walk you through what to expect and what to expect from mid-year, what to do during mid-year, and what to do after mid-year. And we also want to go through some helpful hints that we might have to give to you guys since, we all have been there to some capacity or another, whether it was 1 year ago or 2 years ago. We know how it feels to go through mid-year. And we also want to give you some useful websites to look at prior to attending mid-year. So before going to mid-year, we really encourage you guys to visit our Rutgers Fellowship website. It's at pharmafellows.rutgers.edu. We also encourage you guys to like us on Facebook and add us or connect with us on LinkedIn as well, because they're great resources of information. On our website specifically, all of this information is on there, what to do before, during, and after mid-year. There's frequently asked questions, and all the information for our partner companies, including their respective brochures, can be found on the website. Secondly, we want to encourage you guys to attend mid-year, and to attend mid-year, we want to make sure that you guys are registered for the mid-year convention. But not only that, please register for the PPS as well, the Personal Placement Service. Rutgers is associated with PPS, and so to access the Rutgers booth, you'll have to register for PPS, and they closely monitor if you're registered or not to let you in, so we really recommend you guys registering. And of course, we would want you guys to practice your basic interviewing skills, as a majority of interviews will be taking place at the mid-year convention. Next, we want to encourage you guys to update your CV, update it to the most recent experiences, and so there's a lot that we can talk to you about with. And we also recommend you to bring 50 hard copies of your CV, because some companies may ask to see a hard copy of your CV, and so 50 copies of your CV should be adequate. Also, identify 3 individuals to write you letters of recommendations. Online at the Rutgers website, we have a form that you can utilize to request for letters of recommendations. It's not required by any means, but it's just a resource for you to initiate that process. Also, we want to reiterate to begin the online application process. Once again, as stated by Drea earlier, this is a new process for us, and we really encourage you guys to go through this portal. And so you go on to our website, there'll be an Apply Now on the right side of the homepage. Just click on the Apply Now. It'll ask you to create an account using your first and last name, your email, and then you'll set up a password. It'll also have you list the names of the 3 individuals you want to have write your letters of recommendation. And when you list their name, it also will ask for their respective email addresses as well. When you enter their email address and complete the account application process, it'll actually shoot an email to those letter writers for you, requesting them to either upload it onto the portal, which doesn't require them to create a username or anything like that, or they can mail it into the school pharmacy as well. So once again, during ASHP, we want you to register for both ASHP and PPS. We want you to go to Rutgers Interview Suite, and we're going to have you fill out a candidate information form. And then interview sign-up. It begins Saturday, December 3rd at 12 noon promptly. And so the convention actually opens a day early just for the Rutgers suite itself, so it'll just be everybody applying for interview sign-ups. Make sure you bring a photo ID and copies of your CV as well, please.
Okay. So once you've signed up for all the positions that you're interested in, the next step is to start interviewing. So the first slot to start interviewing is Saturday, December 3rd at 2 p.m. Interview sign-ups begin at 12, but the first slot for interviewing isn't until 2. The last day is Tuesday, December 6th. So that gives you 4 days to get all the interviews in. When you have arrived, it's time for your interview, and you've arrived at the Rutgers suite. You approach the central check-in at the table, and a fellow will take your name, the position that you're there for, and then guide you to the correct booth. Step 5 really isn't a step, but it's important to stay organized through this whole process. You want to sign up early and be sure to bring either a planner or some type of calendar, as it's really the candidate's responsibility to keep track of his or her own interviews. So just to share a couple interviewing tips with you guys, you want to make sure that you share your experiences, but not only share them, but how they molded you into the individual that you are today. Industry experiences aren't 100% necessary. If you feel as though you had an experience on rotation or during school or an extracurricular activity, and they've helped aid your professional development, share it. You want to ask questions. Each interview is usually structured so that you have about 5 minutes towards the end for you, the candidate, to ask the preceptor or the fellow questions. And you should really use this time to learn more about the position. See what the day-to-day is like, what is the culture, et cetera. Use that time to gain more knowledge about what you like and what you don't like. So it's also important to obtain business cards after each interview. Usually, the interviewer will offer you their own business card, but don't be afraid to ask if they forget or if they just don't have it on them. You can get their contact information regardless. So once you've interviewed at all the positions, you want to start to narrow down the programs that you actually want to apply to. Just because you interview for the positions at Midyear does not necessarily mean that you have to apply for them. Okay, so we touched upon the application process, but again, just to reiterate, the preferred route is the website, pharmafellows.rutgers.edu. And here, you submit your CV, your letter of intent, and 3 letters of recommendation. Now, I cannot emphasize again how important it is for you guys to get these materials in, as we'll go into in a little bit the next slide or two, as they really affect the entire application process. So you also complete your program interest form, which is similar to the purple candidate interest form that you guys have, and then you prepare for your on-site interviews. So PharmaFellows isn't the only way to apply. You can also email all of your materials to ifellows@pharmacy.rutgers.edu, or you can choose to physically mail in your materials. If you decide to do that, you want to address them to Joseph Barone, who here at Rutgers, and the address is the Pharmacy Building, 160 Frühlinghuisen Road in Piscataway. Again, I want to reiterate that the electronic sign-up, the PharmaFellows route, is the preferred method, as it's just easier and it's more streamlined and there's fewer steps for everybody. But you can mail it if you so desire. So after you submit the application, you should receive an email letting you know that all your materials are in and you are good to go. If a company is interested after midyear, after the interview process, if they're interested in bringing you on-site, they will contact you then. The caveat here is that you have to have your CV, letter of intent, and at least 1 letter of recommendation to be brought on for an on-site interview. Now, this is crucial because if you don't have that and they're interested in you, they can't bring you on-site. And it'd really be a shame for you to not get an offer or an invitation for an on-site interview because your materials aren't in. So after the on-site interview, if they're really impressed and they want to extend an offer to you, they can do so, but only if all of your materials are in now. So again, we emphasize, try to get them in as soon as possible. Start identifying 3 people that you want to write your letters of recommendation, et cetera, et cetera. So just some overall helpful hints. FID, I always say FID is to the industry as the residency showcase at Midyear is for residencies. This is really an information seminar for you guys. You want to be proactive here, and you want to learn as much as you can about each of the companies, each of the positions, and each of the different fellows and preceptors that you get to interact with here. Ask questions, learn about the culture, et cetera. And you want to explore and start to narrow down in your minds what functional area, what therapeutic area, what companies you are probably interested in. You want to use the website to supplement all of the things that you learned here today. The website is an incredible tool, and 9 times out of 10, if you have a question, the answer is probably on the website. So again, all the brochures that you got here today, the CIF, all that information can also be found on the website. And you want to prepare for interviews. You'd be surprised how a little bit of preparation goes leaps and bounds and how comfortable you are in that situation. And stay motivated. I know you guys are in a very trying time in your pharmacy career right now. It's a little turbulent, shall we say, but it's always important to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So here's just some useful websites. The first one, as I'm sure you've seen like 50 times already, is pharmafellows.rutgers.edu, but also the website for ASHP and PPS are here as well, which you need to apply to both.